Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I want to do an animal that's a little different, and it's almost looks like a bear, but a bear with a bushy tail. I want to do what they call a wolverine, and I will show you how to make that from start to finish. As you can see, they do have big sharp teeth, and they're a lot smaller than a bear. They're probably maybe a quarter of the size. But they're brown in color, and they have a nice big bushy tail. They're ferocious little creatures, but I've seen nature shows where they'll actually take on a couple of wolves and things, and they're not afraid of anything. I thought it'd be a very interesting animal to do tonight. I will show you the types of clay that we can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. And as I mentioned in the past, it's the one I used to use all the time as a kid. It's awesome clay. You make things, and then when they're no longer useful or you don't want to keep them anymore, you just roll them up into a ball and make something else. And this is multicolored, so you can make all kinds of cool things with it. Another type of clay that you can use is a clay called the air hardening clay such as this, which can be bought in any art store. And it hardens in a couple of hours or overnight, and then you can paint it. The only disadvantage to this type of clay is that once you paint it and it's hardened, you can't use it again. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey. This clay can be fired in the oven at about 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. You can drill it, sculpt it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail, and that's why I prefer this type of clay. The size balls of clay that we're going to use tonight, I actually have several different sizes. This size ball of clay here will do for the head, and that's the size you want to make the Wolverine's head. The size ball that you want to use for the body is going to be this size ball of clay right here. And then for the legs, these are the front legs. We'll use these size balls of clay. The hind legs are just a little bit bigger than the front legs, so that's why the balls of clay are going to be a little bigger for the hind legs. But these are the size balls we want to use for the hind legs. And then we're going to use this for the bushy tail. And what I'm going to do is some of the pieces that we're going to use tonight for the clay, we're going to use the additive technique, and I'll show you. I have an extra piece of clay here to the side, which I'll use, and I'll show you how to pull pieces off of that and add to it, and we'll make a really cool little animal. The first step in the process is you want to take this size of the body, this ball of clay here, and I'll show you on an unpainted version. What we're going to be making right now is this portion right here. See the back? And from the side, think of that without the legs on it. And we're going to make it into almost like a potato-like shape, and I'll show you how to proceed to do that. We'll take this ball of clay here, and I'm going to take it and kind of squeeze it in my hands like this. You just kind of squeeze it, and we're going to make that potato-like shape. I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit, and I'll show you how we're going to proceed to do that. See how we're just making that shape like this, just like that. And we're going to just do that. I'm just going to smooth it over a little bit with my thumb. That way it'll make it a little easier when we have to make the fur. So we'll just kind of smooth that over like that. And what we're going to do is make that nice shape for the body. And I'll show you, this is what we want the piece of clay to look like. It almost reminds me of like a giant potato right now. So what we're going to proceed to do next is we're going to make the head. And the head is going to be this piece right here. You can see that right there. There's the neck, and I'll show you how to make the nose. We're going to add the ears a little later and the eyes, but we're going to proceed to make the head. What we'll do is we'll take this ball of clay here, and we're going to just take and kind of work this in. See how I kind of put these two together, and you just kind of work it like this. See, I'm just taking with my thumb and pushing the clay together. We want to join those two pieces like that. Just kind of take and work that together like that. You want to just work those two pieces like that and bring those together. Just like that. And so now you can see this is going to be the head and that's going to be the body. The next thing that we want to do is we want to make the legs. So what I'm going to do is we'll work on the rear leg first. So what we can do is take and roll this on the table like this, just like this. I'll move these out of the way so you can see. And just kind of, see how I'm just kind of rolling that like that? Just like that. That way we get it started. And when I'm going to proceed, and we're going to do the same thing for the other rear leg. We're going to take and roll that. Just like that. See that? They're approximately the same size. And then what I want to do is we're going to proceed and we're going to do the front legs. So we'll do it in the same manner. So we're going to take and roll that like that. Just like that. And we're going to, it almost looks like a little log. And we're going to proceed to do the same with the other front leg. So we're going to take and roll that like that. Just like that. You just kind of work that like that. So the next step in the process is we want to start to add these legs. So I think we'll take the front legs first, and I'll show you, looking back at the sculpture. See this? We're going to be adding this front leg here and this front leg here. And I'll show you how to do that. What we're going to proceed to do is pick up our body here, and we're going to take this front leg here, and we're going to kind of push that into the side. See, I'm pushing that in like that, and just kind of take and work that in like that with your fingers. See, I'm just taking and working that clay like that. You want to just take and work it just like that. The next piece that you want to take is we're going to take this one that we made for the rear leg, and we're going to take and we're going to attach that right here. Just going to take and work that in like that. Just like that. You know, it might, and then we'll look at the size of the legs. You know, I'm looking at this right now. It appears that this might be a little too large. So what you do is you just take and pinch off a piece of clay like this. See how I'm pinching it off? I want to make it a little bit smaller. You know, sometimes you need to do that, and that's called the subtractive technique when you take away some of the clay. And then we're going to proceed to put the other front leg on the other side. So we're going to take this and just kind of push that in here and work it in like that. See, I'm kind of pushing that together. And we will get some tools in a minute, and we'll do the underside too, because we want to make sure that that's attached nice and securely. And then we'll proceed to put the fourth and final leg, which is here. And we're going to take this, just going to work it a little more like that log, just like that. And then we're going to attach it right here. I'm going to attach, just push that in like that. And just kind of take your fingers and work it into the body like that. See, I'm pushing that together? And you just kind of work it in just like that. I'm looking at this, and this looks like this leg might be a little too big. So I'm going to take and pinch off some of the clay, just like this. And we'll put that there. And I just want to make sure we have the right proportions. The next step in the process that we'll want to take is we want to make the tail. So I'll show you that. We're going to take this ball of clay here, and the shape that we want to make is right here. See that? That's the tail. It's a nice big bushy tail in the back, and we're going to proceed to make that piece. So we'll take this ball of clay here, and I'm just going to kind of work it like this, just like this. See how we're stretching out the ball of clay, just like that. And you're working it like that. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to look at my model here and see if this piece of clay is approximately the same size. It looks like they are. And we can always add, see that? I want to make on that, showing that tail there, they're approximately the same size, which they are. We'll probably add a little clay to this, but I'll show we'll attach that to the back. And we're going to take this. I'm going to take a little piece of clay like this, extend it out, and then I'm going to take and attach it right here. See that? We attach it, and then I'm going to work the clay like that. I want to make sure that we do that right. So see, I'm kind of pinching that together. And you'll see under here, I'm trying to work the clay here too, so it attaches from all sides. See, I'm pinching the clay together like that. Just like that. That way it'll attach properly and it won't fall off. So as you can see, this is the basic shape that we have right now. What I'm going to do also is we want to work some of that clay in on the bottom. So I'm going to show you, we're going to get some sculpting tools, but I want to show you the type of package that they'll come in. We have some sculpting tools, which can be bought in any art store. And this is what the package will look like. You have some pieces that almost look like they're wood, but there's some metal instruments in there, and I'll show you what they look like. The instruments that we want out of this package are, I have a couple right here. There's a couple of little sculpting tools just like this. And the one that we'll probably most likely use tonight is the one, this one here, because it has a nice triangular shape. We'll be using that to make the eyes. But we also can use this edge here to attach the clay to the body. And I'll show you how to do that. So you can take this instrument here, see this, and you kind of work the clay like this. See, I'm kind of pushing that in to the leg. Just kind of take that tool, just like that. See, I'm pushing that into the leg. We want to make sure that that attaches, just like that. And we'll do the same to the other side. So what I can do is see, I'm pushing the clay with the tool into the leg. We want to make sure that that attaches firmly by doing that. And then we'll do the same on the bottom, right here. See, I'm kind of pushing that just like that. And we're going to do that on this other piece here too. Just like that. See, I'm pushing the clay up together like that. And then we'll proceed to put that down. What I want to do now is look, and we want to make the feet on the legs. I'll proceed to show you this model. The next step that we want to take, see these feet? You want to kind of take the clay and we're going to pinch it out to make these feet. That'll give you good, see how they look? We'll extend them out, make them look like that. But this is what they'll look like from the side. And that's what they'll look like from the top. I'm going to show you how to kind of almost make the little claws. And that's what they'll look like from this side. So we'll proceed to make those feet. So what I'm going to do is going to take the sculpture here now. Now that we got this put together somewhat, I'm just making sure the legs are pretty well attached. I'm just kind of working this a little bit. This looks like it might need a little more clay pinched off, but we'll just round that out a little bit. We're going to proceed to make the front feet. So see this piece here? You take this and kind of pinch it between your fingers like this. See, I'm pinching that and pulling it out. And then you kind of want to round that out. So you kind of see how I'm doing that? You're pulling that out, just like that. See that shape? So that's what it looks like from the bottom. This is what it will look like from the top. And you're going to proceed to do that for all four legs. So see, I'm kind of kneading this in my fingers. And you pull it out, just like that, to make the feet. You know, it's a very simple way of making it. And I'm just going to kind of work this a little bit. I want to make sure that, you know, you want to make the feet approximately the same size in the front. So what I would do is, see how they're approximately the same size? Just keep pinching it and then flip it over like this, and then you can do a comparison too, just like that, to make sure that they're about the same size. Now we'll proceed to do the back. So what we're going to do is take this and you pinch this with your fingers like this, and you just keep pinching, and you pull out like this. Just like that. Very simple way of doing it. And then we're going to proceed to do the other side. And we're going to do that over here. So I want to make sure that you get a good view. See how I'm taking and I'm pinching that. You know, if your proportion's a little off, don't worry about that right now, because I'm just trying to show you some simple techniques for making the legs and the feet. And it's a good way to practice. You know, over time you can look at it and you can compare them. You look at them and say, do they look about, they're approximately the right size, and you can play around with it. So let me see, I want to put this down on the table, see if I can get the feet to, I want to make sure he stands all right. And it looks like I'm going to just look around the animal, just make sure that the legs are approximately the right size. And I want to show you right now, it's very close to the other one. See that? So you can see like the feet here, this side. I'm trying to get my fingers out of the way. But you can see how this is starting to take the same basic shape. See that? Just like that. So the next step that we want to take is we probably want to make the face. So what we're going to do is I'll show you. This is the face of the Wolverine. So I'll show you from underneath. We kind of want to pull the nose out, make the teeth. And then what I'll do is, see how we made the eyes and the ears? But that's what it'll look like from the top. So I'll proceed to show you how to make that same basic shape. I just wanted to show from different angles. So we'll take this Wolverine, and now, see, I'm kind of taking my fingers now, and I'm pinching the clay like this to pull it out. So you kind of just keep working it to kind of pull it out. Just like that. Just kind of work it. See how we're starting to pull it out so you can see the face. Just like that. Just, you work it out a little bit. Just like that. It's a really cool way of doing it. I'll show you in a minute. We got that. And just like that, you work in the clay. See how we did that nose? See how I pulled it out? That's what it looks like from the front. That's what it will look like from the top. See that shape? And then that's what it looks like from the bottom. But what we're going to proceed to do is we're going to work this, just keep this as the top part of the jaw. So I'll show you, I'm going to take some of the clay now, and I'm going to push it back with my fingers. Because what I want to do is make a little indentation like this. See how I'm kind of pushing my finger in a little bit? We're going to make that the top part of the jaw. I'll show you. It's a really cool little technique to make it. See that? See how we made the mouth? See how I made the indentation? It's really cool. And then that's what it will look like from the side. That's what it will look like from the front. You see that? And I'll show you, we're going to make the nose now. And I'll show you a very easy way to do this. We'll take and grab a little piece of clay off of here. I'll show you, it's going to be approximately, we'll start off with this size right here. I'll show you my hand. See that piece there? We'll start off with that size. We might end up making it smaller. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to try to flatten this out and almost make a triangular shape. I'll show you what we're going to do. See that? See that little triangular shape? That's what it will look like from the side, but that's what it will look like from the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on the front of the nose here. It might be a little too large, and we can always make it smaller. I'm looking at this now, and I'm saying, you know what? I can pinch off some clay. So I'll pinch off a little bit more clay from the side, like this. And then what I'll do is I'll make that triangular shape again, fix it, and we'll put that in the front. Let me see if this is going to be approximately the right size now. So see how I place that on there? Take that, make that triangular shape again, and kind of push it in like that. See how I'm pinching that? See how I made that? So you can see the nose. That's what it will look like from the top. That's what it will look like from the side for the time being. And the other side. What we're going to proceed to do is, I got some toothpicks here. You know, you can buy these in the supermarket. There's two different types of toothpicks. You have one that's got a more of a flat edge. One side's a little smaller than the other. Then you have this other toothpick that's got the pointed end at both sides. This one here is going to be great for the fur and the eyes. But for the nose itself, we want this one here, the one that I'm still holding up. We're going to take this now, and we're going to make a little indentation. Just like this, we're going to take that, and you go up to the nose like this, you make the indentation. And then you go from the other side and you do the same thing. Now look at that. See the nose? How we made that indentation? It's a cool little way to make it. And then what we're going to proceed to do now is I want to make some teeth. So we're going to take this clay here, and I'm going to take 2 little tiny balls of clay. And I'll show you. Very tiny. We're going to use this size right here. And I'm going to make 4 balls of clay like that. And I'll show you, we're going to make 4 teeth. I'm going to take and quickly get the sizes that I want to make sure they're the right size. I'll show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to take and put these all here. Just going to take the clay. And I'm going to just put that a little more. I need a little more. I'm going to take and put the 4 little balls of clay right here. And you can right here. Oh. I'll just, see we got the four little balls of clay here, and those are what we'll use for the teeth. So what I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to pick this up with my fingers now, and what I want to do is almost make an ice cream cone shape. So what I'm going to do is take, and I'm going to roll these back and forth, and I'm trying to make it like a pointed tooth. So you roll it, think of an ice cream cone upside down. See how it's very tiny, but that's what it looks like. Think of an upside down ice cream cone. So what I'm going to do is we can use our toothpick for this also. I'm going to take, and I'm going to place this in the mouth with my fingers. So we're going to flip this, and you take, see this? And I'm going to take my thumb, and I'm going to try to push this tooth in here like this. Just like that. So you kind of take and push that in the mouth like that. Just like that. Now what you can do too is you can take your toothpick and you can work it from this side. See, I got the toothpick? You can take and kind of press that in like that to make sure that it's secure. And then we'll proceed to make the other tooth. And I'll show you, we'll take and we'll roll that between our fingers. Think of the upside down ice cream cone. And that's exactly what we're doing. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to place this right next to the other one, right here. See how I'm doing that? Take that little piece of clay, and we want to take, and just kind of, see how I'm pushing that in, like that? Just push it in, just ever so slightly. So you're kind of pushing it from the side. So now, see how we got a couple of nice little fangs now? We're going to proceed to make the lower jaw now. So what I'm going to do is grab a piece of clay off of here, and we're going to make the lower jaw. And what we do is I'll take, you want to make a little round ball of clay. So take this and kind of roll it like this, and that'll make the nice little round shape that you want. So then you get to take your fingers and just kind of press that together. You almost kind of want to make almost like a U shape. I want to make sure that this is the right size. I'm not sure if I made it too big, we can take away. or if it's not big enough, we can add. I want to take, see I'm taking my finger and I'm flattening that out. We can even tap it on the table. Watch this. You can see I can just tap that and then pick it up. Now I'm going to see if this is too big. It might be. It appears that this is too big. See? So what we're going to proceed to do is take a little bit of clay off there, and we're going to make it smaller. So pinch this clay off, and we'll make it smaller. And that you can subtract from the clay like that. That's a good way of doing it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, and I'll show you the shape that, if this works, I'll show you the shape that we want. I sculpted this almost into a U-like shape, and I want to take and put this underneath and see if it's the right size. It's approximately the right size. You can see that there. And we'll work that in. What I'll proceed to do next is take and put the other two teeth on the bottom lower jaw. So we'll take this, and I'll think of the upside down ice cream cone again. And I'll show you what it will look like. See that? That very tiny tooth? We're going to put that in the lower jaw. See how that looks like an upside down ice cream cone? I'm going to take and I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to take this tooth, this very tiny tooth, and I'm going to place that in the lower jaw right here. Just like that. See, I'm just taking and pushing it from the side. Just ever so slightly, just push it in from the side like that. And then I'll proceed to do the other tooth. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to upside down ice cream cone again. Just like this. And you roll it like that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to pick up that jar again, and I'm going to take and place it on the other side. See, I'm kind of taking this, and when you push it down, push it from the side, because you don't want to push it from the top. So, just like that. See that? They're approximately the right size. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this lower jaw, and I'll show you. We're going to work that in like this. I'm going to push that in from the bottom. So take that. See, I'm taking my fingers, and we're pushing that in right now. Just work that like that. Push it in, and then go all the way around, working the clay into the mouth. Just like that. And I will take a quick look at it from the side, and I think we'll just keep working it. And I want to keep pushing the clay, as you can see here. So I'm working that in to make sure it's approximately the right size. And now, if you look at that, see that? See how we did the jaw? And I'll kind of move that around to the front. So you get the four teeth. And that's what it will look like from the side. So the next step in the process is we want to make eyes. So I'm going to take and I'm going to flatten this out. See? I'm going to take and kind of flatten this out a little more. Push my finger and kind of make like a little indentation. Just like that. And then we're going to proceed to take our sculpting tool that I had shown you earlier. And we're going to take and we're going to make eyes. So what we're going to do is, see this? We're going to take and go like this. See the tool? Take, and you kind of dig in like that. And then we'll take out the clay. I just want to make sure I did it right. And then we'll do that from the other side. So I'll take, as you can see here, just kind of, and you go from both sides. See how I kind of carved that out? And then we'll just look to see they're approximately the same size. If they're a little off, don't worry about it, but this is a real cool way to make eyes. So I'm going to look at that. So the next thing that we want to do is I want to take that clay and put it back into those eyes. So I'm going to take and almost create like a little eyeball, which is about that size there. And we'll take and we'll put that back in the eye here. Just like that. See how I put that back in? And then what you want to do is take your tool like this and just kind of push it in a little bit. Just like this. You want to work that eye back in there. See how I'm pushing with the tool? And we might want to put a little, you'll look at it like this. And we'll push it in. I'm just going to work it a little bit more. And we're going to proceed to do that to the other side. So take and roll another piece of ball of clay like this. Put it in. Oh, I dropped it. And just push it in there. But there wasn't enough clay, so I'm going to take and get another piece and roll it, just as I had done. I'm going to push it in there again. So what we'll do is take the sculpting tool right here, and I'll show you. Just kind of work that in like that. See how I'm pushing it in? Just do it, and you want to create the shape of the eye. So you try to make those contours for the eye. And I'll look at that. And another thing that we want to do is we want to make eyebrows on there. So we'll take little pieces of clay like this. I'll show you the approximate size. Just like that. Think of like a little half moon, and we'll put that right here above the eye. Just like that. And we'll just work that in. And then you just kind of work that in like that. Give a more realistic look. And we'll proceed to do the other side the same way. I'm going to just pinch off a little piece of clay. And I'll show you, we'll make this the size of clay that we want to use, approximately this size. And you take and you go right over the eyebrow right here, or the eyelid. And see, I put that up there. And just take your fingers and just work it in like this. Put it in there. And the next step in the process is, and then kind of look to make sure that it looks okay from here. I want to make sure that, and what we're going to do is now take your toothpick here, and we're going to make the eyes. So I'll show you, see how I'm going to take this, the sharp end of the toothpick, push it into the eye, and maybe let's spin that a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'll push this in. See that? You push it in like that. When you're using these tools like this, be very careful of your own eyes. You don't want to, where they're very sharp, you have to be careful with them. So, and I'll show you. See this now? Isn't that cool? You got those eyes. It gives a more realistic effect when you do it that way. The next thing we'll proceed to make is the ears. So I'll show you what we'll do there. We'll take a couple of balls of clay, just like this. I'll show you the size that we want, and we'll roll that up. I'm going to put these down, then I'll show you the size that is good. Right here. So the ears, you want to make them approximately this size, so use these size balls of clay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take and almost flatten these out. See how I'm kind of making these almost like a pancake? Not quite a pancake, but, and then you're going to take and tap the bottom like this. And then you kind of think of almost like a U shape. See that? Then we'll proceed to take and place that on our animal right about here. So you can push that in like that. See, I'm pushing that in. And just kind of work that from both sides. So what I'm doing too, you see I'm taking the clay here and taking my finger and pushing that clay in so it firmly attaches. And we're going to proceed to do that to the other side. I'll show you, we'll make the U shape again, kind of flatten this out like this, just like that. Tap the bottom with your finger, and we'll proceed to put that on the other side. So I'm going to look at my Wolverine now, and I want to make sure it's approximately the same location, which it is. and just kind of work that in. Just like that. You push it in like that, and then work all around. Just like that. And then what we'll do is we want to take our tool now, and we want to sculpt out the ear a little bit. So take, just like this, and you take out some of the clay. And you do that on the other side. Just like that. And I want to take a quick look at that, see if that's about right. So I want to take a little more clay. Just work the tool. I'll do it on the other side. And that's approximately the right size. See how cool that is? We've just sculpted that out. So the next step in the process that we want to take is we probably want to make the feet. I'll show you how to kind of make the claws. So take, see the bottom here? We're going to do right here, you go 1 with our toothpick, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do the same to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. See how they look? They got a nice little effect. And we'll do the same for the back too. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll show you we'll do the same for the other side here. See this? We go 1, 2, 3, 4 by using the edge of the toothpick. So the next thing that we want to do is this type of clay where it's so thick now, I want to take the toothpick and create some holes on the bottom because that will let the gases escape from the clay. So you take, see I'm pushing the toothpick in, just be very careful, make 3 holes, just like that. And then I'll show you and you're going to make them up by the front legs too. This way the clay won't crack when it's firing, this type of clay. The next thing that we want to do is we want to make the fur. I'll show you. So on the fur, you want to take little strokes, just like this, just like that. And you want to do little strokes all around the face, just like that. And then you want to work down the way down to the neck. So you just take little strokes like this, and you're going to go all around the Wolverine in that manner. This area here, you're going to take longer strokes because the fur is going to be a little longer. So you're going to go all the way around. You're going to do the same. You're going to do the legs in that manner, just like that. Go all the way around. You're going to do the body, like here. See, I'm just doing the little strokes, just like that. You want to do that. And you want to do the tail, all the legs, and the underside. And I'll show you what it should look like when it's completed. This is, I'll put that down, and I'll proceed to show you the one that we're going to paint tonight. See the fur? How we have all the little fur marks and made with a toothpick. The tail, the feet, we got the nice little indentations on the feet. You can see the beautiful job on the mouth with the teeth, the nose. See that? And the eyes and the ears. It came out pretty good. So I'll proceed to show you how to paint that. The colors that we'll need are in this box here, but I just want to let you know that these are acrylic paints which can be bought in any art store. And they're non-toxic. They're great to use. They're very easy to clean up. If you get some paint in your hands or you get it on the table, it washes off very easily. I'll show you the colors that we need. We're going to do red for the mouth, white for the teeth. We're going to use brown for the body. We're going to use black for the nose and the let me see, so the black will definitely be for the nose and for the eyes. And then we want to use yellow for the eyes. It'll be a nice contrast with the black and the brown. The first thing that we want to do is, once we get our paints, is pick the right brushes. We're going to proceed. I have a nice brush here with a nice sharp point, and we're going to use that for the eyes. You can see this right here. See how nice? That's got a nice point. You can barely see it. It's so fine. But that'll be great for doing the eyes tonight, or at least the black pupil. The other type of brush that you want to use, we got some smaller ones here. We'll use one of these for the eyes, for the yellow piece, right here. And we're going to use another one for the teeth because it's a very small area. For the body, we'll use a couple of different size brushes. We're going to use this size brush here for the body. That'll be for the other parts of the legs and the fur on the back. But then for the face area, I want to use a smaller brush because it'll be easier to work with. And we'll use this size right here. So the first step that we want to do is I want to paint the eyes. We'll take and we'll dab the yellow. And what I'm going to do is, you see the eyes right here? This area right here. Just kind of take and do the eyes. Yeah, don't worry if you get a little extra paint around the eye area. We can always fix that later. And we'll do the same for the other side. Just kind of dab that. Just like that. And it has a very nice effect. The next thing that we want to do, now that we've done the yellow, we probably want to do the black. Is we'll take, you dab the brush in, and we're going to take now, and you put the point right in that little hole area where the eye is. And we'll do the same to the other side. See that? Has a nice effect. You know what, if you smudge the paint a little bit, don't worry, because you can always go back and fix it up. And then we also want to paint the nose area right here. That area right there. Just want to take, it's going to paint around it. Just like that. And we'll try it from all sides. You know, see how nice that looks? And then we're going to proceed to do I think we'll do the mouth next. We'll use this brush here. So what you want to do is get this area in here. So just kind of take that and work that in a little bit, just like that, back and forth. And then you want to do the same for the lower part too. Just kind of swish it back and forth, but in the mouth area. And just swish it back and forth, just like that. See how that looks now? You can see the red? And then I'll flip it so you can see the top part. See how that looks? Looks nice. So what we're going to proceed to do now is we can do the teeth. So what I will do is take this now, and we'll pick up our Wolverine again. See that? And we're going to just do the white. So go all around the teeth. All around. So I look, and then try to get it from both sides. See, I'm working it from both sides. Just like that. You want to try to get it from all angles. Then we get a little more paint. Just like that. Going to do that. Just like that. See how that looks? Looks pretty good. The next thing that we want to do is we're going to proceed to do the brown paint. We'll take, and see, now what you want to do is to paint the face. See this? Just gently go back and forth. See this in the back and forth motion like that to paint the face. But you want to use this size brush because you don't want to, it's easier to work with if you use a smaller brush. So what you do is you proceed to do the whole head in this manner. See this? You do the back and forth method like that, back and forth, just like that. And I'll show you, we want to do the snout area. See how I'm just going to just gently brush around. Just like that, that way. And you want to go around the entire head in that manner. Then you even like the ears, we're going to make them all brown, so just dab the paint inside the ears. See how we're going up and around? Just like that. And then you go behind the ears. See that? Just like that. So just continue to proceed in that manner and do the entire Wolverine like that. So I'm doing the back and forth, and work that clay and that paint in really nicely. You want to do the underside, just like that, back and forth, just like that. And then for the body where it's larger, we want to use a larger brush. So I'll show you, we want to switch as we get to the body and the legs and the tail. You'll take this brush here, see how it covers a lot more territory or more area. So see that? It's much quicker to use doing it this way. And you do the back and forth, just like that. And go all around the leg like that. You know, and then you're going to get the front, dab it, and then you're going to see how I'm going to get the underside here. Get that. But you want to get it from all sides. And then you also, what I would do too is paint the underside of the Wolverine here. Just go back and forth like that. Just like that. Because that way you'll cover all those areas, and that can be drying while you're painting the upper part of the back. And then what I do too is try to work the paint on the inner part of the legs first. Because that's the hardest, to get it in those areas there. See, I'm just kind of doing the back and forth. And then the underside of the tail, just like that. And you'll continue to proceed to paint in that manner. You go all around, and I'll show you what it should look like when it's done. We'll take the one that's finished, and now you can see this here. See, you get the nice black nose, the white fangs, the red in the mouth. I'll flip them so you can see it from all sides. You get the nice yellow with the eyes that contrasts the black and the brown. And it's a really cool effect. See that? That's what it looks like from the top. This is what it will look like from the side. Just like that. And I'll flip it so you can look at it from the other side. And then that's what it will look like from the underside. Don't worry about painting the feet. You're not going to be able to paint the feet but that's what it should look like when it's done. And I hope you enjoyed working on making a Wolverine tonight. And I do want to thank you for coming to the show Creations in Clay. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. And goodbye for now. Thank you. Hi kids, how would you like to win some professional modeling clay like the one that I use in the show? Please send pictures of your creations in clay and we will enter them into a drawing. You can send by mail or email, and I can't wait to see what you've been up to.